and the level of it that's going on, I think we're going to see more throughout this year. I think we're going to see more, false flags that are coming out. In that there's a lot that's coming out this year, as far as them exposing what's going on with this Ghislaine Maxwell arrest. I think they're going to try to do everything they can in their power to keep her safe so she can testify and expose some of these people like the Royals, that are sick, disgusting people that run the world. I mean, that Epstein Island, they had a submarine port. That Ghislaine Maxwell, she's a submarine operator. She can drive a submarine. And then she would drive a submarine with a bunch of kids on it, like 15, 14-year-old girls. And these people would, these people that run the world would go and have orgies out there and shit, and do all sorts of satanic rituals and do whatever the fuck they want because they're multi-gazillionaires and they run the world, and it's disgusting. So basically the whole thing of Epstein, it's all a blackmail operation. And blackmail operations have been going on for a long time. I mean, like the Playboy Mansion. Back in the day, they had trap doors and double-sided mirrors, and they would get people, actors or whomever, fucking snorting, heroin off the back end of a fucking hooker, and then they would just be like, okay, well, we got this video of you doing this, and if you go against anything that we don't want you to do, we're gonna fuck your shit up, fuck your family up, and that's it. And that's how they run shit. But now the blackmail operations have gotten way more satanic in that. That's why they bring children in and they fucking basically they do horrendous shit to kids, and then they film it, and it's anybody who's like a A-list actor or anybody who's got more than 10 million followers if you're in the music industry or whatever. It's basically you're selling your soul to the devil. And that's the only way you're going to become an A-list anything in the entertainment industry, because they don't want people doing anything outside of what they want you to be doing. And so with that being said, it's all about control, man. Like, it being a comedian or being anything in this day and age, the fucking days of being a free-spirited comedian are long gone, bro. And that's what sucks, because if you were to make it, you're not going to be able to make it without selling your soul. And that sucks. Fuck that.
That's crazy. That's a crazy way to look at it, man. That's facts, though. You feel me? Like, they got crazy ass shit going on in the fucking entertainment business. So, a lot of us might not ever know. You feel me? Because if it gets to that point, I'm gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm cool. I ain't trying to. Like, this shit's cool. But once they start coming at me like that, I'm be like, nah, you got me fucked up. I got the hammer with the nails. I'm not going for it. You feel me?
Dude, straight up.
That's just weird.
That's why for me, with everything, I've just more or less been freelance, and I just never really wanted to truly pursue any aspect of entertainment, because it's just, I've always known what it really was and what ultimately it was going to be. And so with that being said, I just steered clear from ever truly pursuing being an actor or comedic actor or anything in entertainment, although it's something that I've always really enjoyed doing and XYZ. But to make a long story short, it just, China owns Hollywood, 90% of Hollywood anyways. They've steadily been buying up, they've been steadily buying up Hollywood for the past several decades, and the music industry. And so the walls are closing in on free speech, man. They're closing in. And China, see, a lot of these politicians, they're all in bed with China. Like, if you think about, like, Apple, right now, Apple has more slaves, children slaves, building your phone than ever. Like, they literally are, that's how they build their phones, and why they've had such a huge come up, because they've got children slaves making your phones.
Working for hella cheap, next to nothing, and we paying thousands of dollars for these phones. You feel me,
dude? The irony is through the fucking roof. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're talking about people out riding in $200 J's with Apple iPhones against slavery, which happened 400, 200 years ago. You know what I'm saying? While their shoes were made by some slave in China. I mean, people here in America, we have everything, and we're so unhappy. I was in Thailand 2 years ago, and Bangkok, and you would see like a family of four sitting on the ground having a bowl of rice and an onion, and they're so happy. laughing,
Right.
super cool. You give a little kid some leftover food after a meal, whatever. I had this kid come up to me, run up to me. He's like, thank you so much. Like bowing to me, so thankful, so kind. People are so present and cool. And, you know, here in America, we have everything, and people are fucking miserable. Taking antidepressants out of the yin yang. And it's sad because just to circle back on people being programmed, people are programmed to just be miserable.
Yes.
It's sad.
You know, you can give somebody everything they want, but at the end of the day, they ain't really happy. You feel me? Like they just trying to fill that emptiness with something. You feel me?
But basically the politicians, like Nancy Pelosi owns like $30 million worth of Apple stock.
Right.
I mean, they're all in bed with China. They're all in bed with China. We're talking about, this is who consists of this group. China, Hollywood, mainstream media, the government, you know, both Democrats and Republicans. They're all hedging their bets that America will fall and China will become a superpower and it will become a one world government, a new world order. And then there's countries that are bucking to stay as sovereign states, like right now the current administration, Brazil, Poland, Russia, Hungary, Japan. There's countries that want to stay as individuals while others are trying to make it so it's a one world government. That's why they were so, you know, buck on collapsing the borders of the United States, because they don't want the United States to exist anymore. They're hedging their bets that the United States will collapse. And they didn't anticipate Trump winning the election. They thought that Hillary was just going to steamroll and win. And so it just didn't go that way. So I'm not saying that Trump is a motherfucking savior or whatever. I think he's, you know, he is who he is. And I really think that at this juncture, I don't even think Biden is going to be the true running candidate. I think he's just the sitting candidate right now, and they're going to swap somebody else in, and then they're going to just try to hijack the election because it's already proven that Google and all that is meddling in the election. I think that that's why this COVID thing is going on right now, because they're trying to make it so it's mail-in ballots and XYZ, because they're doing everything they can to make sure that the orange man is no longer going to be president after 2020.
Yeah. They're for sure gonna do that. And I think the mail-in ballot is bullshit because a lot of people ain't gonna get it. There's gonna be a lot of ballots just floating around, you know what I'm saying? Going to houses where motherfuckers don't even live no more.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. It's all rigged up. It don't matter. They got a plan for who's gonna win already.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a hot summer though.
Yeah.
Between now and November 3rd, I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if there's some, you know, some crazy shit that pops off, man. Because they're going to do everything.
Like what you mean, like a war or something like that, or just?
You know, I don't know, because I got friends that are, you know, in the military, and they're like, it's the quietest it's ever been. You know, I don't know if it'll necessarily be a war, but I wouldn't be shocked if there's some, you know, dirty bombs planted in some cities, some major arson going on. Like that fire in Australia, remember last year?
Yeah.
That whole motherfucking fire was arson. It was arson. And as soon as it started to get discovered and brought to the surface that it was arson, the whole motherfucking story went away. Because they don't talk about the truth in the mainstream. They just won't do it, man. And to make a long story short, I think there's probably going to be arsons, there's probably going to be some shootings, there's going to be some dirty bombs. I really don't know.
Right.
And maybe some poisoning of our water resources. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do.
That's gonna happen.
But we are fucking dust in the wind as human souls. They don't give a fuck about us. The whole thing, Dro, is about eugenics. By 2050, their ultimate goal is to reduce the world population down from 7.8 billion down to 500 million. That's what this motherfucking thing is about, man. They don't want us here. It's ridiculous. I can talk about Planned Parenthood, for example. Planned Parenthood was started by Margaret Sanger. The whole thing was basically to eviscerate the African American community. They figured, oh, we'll implement abortion, we'll fucking just eviscerate the African American population, and we'll go from there. And if you think about the amount of African American babies who are aborted every year, the numbers are astronomical. Now, I personally am not necessarily anti-abortion, I'm not necessarily pro-abortion, but what I'm saying is what the whole fucking Planned Parenthood and the whole thing was implemented for. And it ain't about women's health. It's about eugenics and reducing the African American population, man. So, I mean, the shit sucks and it's depressing, but you know what? I would rather take the bitter red pill than be told the fucking blue pill lie bullshit, you know?
Straight up.
So, anyways.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let's touch bases a little bit more with this comedy. Where do you think stand-up is going to even be happening anymore?
I don't know. I think that there's truly going to be. I really don't know. I really don't know because most people they don't have the attention span to sit through a 2-hour comedy show. They want.
Well, not only that, I'm talking about like with the coronavirus shit. Like, do you think they're gonna be able to fill a building again with people like that?
It depends. I think that the COVID thing will probably start to tether off after November 3rd, after the election, and it'll go into some other bullshit. But I mean, I was in Vegas a few weeks ago, and when I was there, man, people were yearning to have a great time. I talked to everybody from fucking thug gangsters to fucking business folks to everybody, man, because everybody was so eager to just talk to people and party and have a good time and let their hair down. And so people are eager to be back. And I think that people are starting to realize that this is bullshit. Because if you look at the numbers, if you look at the sheer numbers of COVID, what are we looking at? 130,000 dead in the United States? Out of 330 million as a population. This thing has a 99.9, 99.8, 99.9% recovery rate.
Right.
The average age of death is 80, 99% of which have pre-existing conditions. You're more likely to get bit in the ass by a shark in Ohio than you are to fucking die from this shit. Yet everybody's wearing this. It really is more of just an acclamation towards authoritarianism. And I think it's a psyop. I think they're taking notes to see who is going to just go along with it and who isn't.
Shit, just alone suicide rates is above coronavirus deaths.
Yeah, worldwide. The suicide is approaching 600,000, and the deaths for corona is like right around 5. So yeah, if you think about the small businesses that are fucking going away, and all the people who are just trying to survive and feed their kids, and pay their mortgage, pay their rents, they're decimating the motherfucking middle class. They're just clearing them out. Anybody who's hardworking, anybody who wants to make a better life for themselves, they're just basically fucking them. So the divide between the haves and the have-nots is even getting more broad. I know people with small businesses own gyms in Reno, wherever else, and they're fucked.
Yeah.
They can't feed their kids because they can't open their business.
Yeah.
But you can go to Walmart, you can go to a Black Lives Matter protest, you can, there's so many things like that. It's just like, what the fuck, man? But you can't go to church, you can't worship God, what the fuck? Really? You're gonna stop me from going to church, but you're gonna tell me to go to a Black Lives Matter protest, which is ultimately generating money for the Democratic Party establishment? It's fucking bullshit, man. It's bullshit. They're keeping small businesses closed.
Yeah, and anybody knows you cannot stop your business for 3 months and expect to fucking keep it going. You feel me? Like, it's fucked up.
Dude, it's beyond fucked up.
Like you said, it's forcing everybody out. If you're not in the fucking Google shit or whatever where you can work from home on your laptop, you're basically fucked right now. Like,
yeah.
I've been out of work for 3 months and they say I might not go back till August or after August, you feel me? Like, yeah, I'm getting unemployment, that shit's cool and everything, but it's not though. You know what I'm saying? It's not though. Like, not knowing when you're gonna go back to work is not cool, you feel me? Especially having a kid and shit like that. So I 100% say that all this shit's bullshit, you feel me? I know the sickness is real, but there's always been diseases and there's always been sicknesses out there. Like, you want to shut a whole shit down over a cold and shit? Like, I understand people are dying. Don't let me take that away from anything. But there's people dying from all type of diseases. You feel me? So if you want to start shutting shit down, should have been shut it down. You feel me?
Yeah, most people that are dying are people that probably would have died anyways from pneumonia, from influenza, I mean, it's just the way it is, and you know, I don't doubt that it is a real thing.
Yeah,
Whether or not it's a bioengineered, you know, virus is one question.
It's a real disease, but
it's a real thing. It is, but at the same time, to shut down the fucking world economy. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's become political at this point, and you know, fuck this whole wearing a mask thing, man. I ain't into it. You know, it's just fucking bullshit, man. And so I really don't. I flew out to Texas. I didn't wear one. They tried to tell me that I had to on the plane. I told them I had a medical condition, and that was it. They can't fuck with you. They can't even ask you what your medical condition is, or they can be subject to ADA laws and possible lawsuits. That's what people don't recognize. Is that if people just stood up and said, fuck this, and realized that this really is just an acclamation towards authoritarianism, then, you know, it's because you just got to look at the raw data and numbers, but people want to believe Facebook News and MSNBC. Right. That.
You got to think for yourself, man.
Straight up.
You got to think for yourself, know your rights, you feel me?
Damn right, dude. People need to start being just critical thinkers and not being told what to think, but just how to think. Think. Right. You know, why is thinking becoming an obsolete thing?
Yeah, motherfuckers, because it all goes back to this technology. You don't need to think, you can just Google that shit and then, or whatever, you feel me? Like, go listen to one of these fake ass doctors, since there's a million doctors out now ever since this shit been going on.
Well, you do straight up. And the doctors who aren't going along with the mainstream narrative are just being kicked right off of YouTube.
Yep.
They're just being just straight up kicked off of all of the mainstream platforms, Google, YouTube. They're just straight up taking them off. And there's a lot of doctors out there that are saying masks are bullshit. COVID numbers are really this. The numbers are going down. Anything that goes against the mainstream, they just take down. There was a documentary called Plandemic. They just took it down. You know, they don't give a fuck. They're just, anything that doesn't go along with their mainstream narrative, they're just straight up taking down.
Shit, I forget exactly what I was talking about with dude yesterday, but he from New York, and he said his lady works in the medical field. And he said she's been with it for hella years, and he said this is the first time he ever heard her say she wants to get out now.
Yeah.
She's like she's seen all the bullshit going on, like, you feel me?
Dude, a lot of the hospitals are going bankrupt because the people who would go in for cancer treatment or whatever treatment, they're just not going in because of fears of COVID. And so all of these hospitals are starting to go bankrupt. And they're going to start laying people off, which makes me think that there will be a real virus that really will kill people. And then all of the hospitals are going to be depleted of their resources and staff. And then they're going to be fucked. You know, we just live in the quirkiest and craziest of times, man. And all I can say ultimately is prepare. Gold, silver, cryptocurrency, and strap up.
Yeah.
Straight up, man, those four things are where it's at. Get emergency food, get water, get your resources, and have an exit strategy. And just be smart, be safe, probably do a little less partying and a little bit more focusing, reading, and keeping your eyes and ears open and trusting your gut. That's what it's all about from here on out, man. And just staying safe.
Straight up. Those are some good words. You better listen to that for sure. Especially, for sure, do some reading. That's what a lot of people should be doing during this time. Since, you know, you got a lot of downtime right now anyways. You feel me? Pick up a book, sharpen up that mind.
Yeah. George Orwell's 1984. That book right there will tell you straight up what's happening. Aldous Huxley's A Brave New World is basically a book that was written in like 1939. It's basically The Matrix, but written in a book. You know, how they just grow humans, and it's kind of where we're going, man. And again, the AI takeover is what we should really be concerned about. And the Google AI takeover. Google needs to be completely chopped up because it is it's a monopoly. So Facebook, Google, these companies need to be chopped up and you know, because they are the true enemies of the people. And it's disgusting to watch, but
that's all the way fake.
Don't go to Google, go to DuckDuckGo.com.
Was that DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo.com is where it's at. It's a search engine where they don't sell any of your information.
Yeah, so fuck Google. We're going to DuckDuckGo, you feel me?
That's what's up.
Yeah, so All right, so let's touch base a little bit more with your comedy and stuff right now. I know we veered off. We just, you feel me? It is what it is. But
Yeah.
where if this shit do die down, do you have anything coming up, or you planning anything for the people? Like we can go check you out.
I mean, right now I'm just more or less preparing for the future, and so comedy's kind of gone on the back burner.
Right.
But and again, as far as stand up, you know, I would love to see it come back and see comedy come back, but it's just going to really, it's going to depend on whether or not people are going to want to see it, and you know, people want instant gratification now. I don't mean to poo-poo. I love comedy, man. I truly do. I honestly feel like there has never been a more pristine time in history to remake the movie Blazing Saddles. Because have you seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. You seen Blazing Saddles, Ron?
It's an old school one.
Yeah, it's a classic Mel Brooks comedy. Watch Blazing Saddles. It needs to be remade immediately. And again, we just need to get back to laughing at ourselves. So it's going to depend on whether or not we as a society and individuals can get back to laughing at ourselves and not being so offended. So we'll see if that happens, it comes back, then fuck yeah, I'll get back into comedy. Hell yeah, I would love to.
And to be real, that shit's fucked up because I know you seen like Jimmy Kimmel just got in trouble for making an old ass he was
Karl Malone.
Yeah, Karl Malone back in the day, like, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up because we all laughed. Everybody had, you know, black, white, whatever. You laughed at that shit. You feel me? But it's fucked up now. Like you said, everyone's so sensitive that you got to go back and apologize for that shit. And I understand the time we're living in where we got to do shit like that. But it's like, bro, like it's comedy. You feel me? Like we all look for comedy to not be stressed out, to not be tripping on the little shit. Like, I mean, not saying that was a little shit, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, we go watch that shit, and you shouldn't have to apologize for that. You feel me? Because you're just generally trying to laugh at yourself, make people laugh. You feel me?
Yeah, and the blackface thing, you know, there are some things, and I totally understand why, you know, the African American community is up in arms. They've been targeted on a multitude of different reasons, starting with fucking slavery, obviously. But, like, let's use the crack cocaine controversy just as one example during the 80s, during the Reagan administration, when the Soviet Union was trying to establish communistic presence in Central American countries such as Nicaragua and Honduras. And being that communism was such a huge threat to American soil, there was a CIA-funded operation where the government was flying guns and ammunition down to Honduras and Nicaragua, dropping off the load, refilling these C-130 Hercules back up with cocaine, bringing it into this country and distributing it through underground drug lords like Freeway Ricky Ross and other. That's when crack blew up.
Right.
That's when crack blew up, man. And they fucking used the poor and the African American community in particular to they exploited them to raise money for this fucking war, okay, that they were fighting down in Central America. And what happened? The fucking African American community was torn apart because of crack cocaine, okay? So the African American community was targeted, that they were poor, and they fucking exploited them to the max. And the African American community has every right to be outraged. However, it's just not being channeled correctly at this point because, again, BLM is a fucking movement to channel money to the Democratic Party, not the African American communities like Chicago.
Where it should be going to.
Exactly.
If it was a real movement for what it's supposed to be for, it should be going to those communities.
Absolutely. And now, in this day and age, man, it's not just the African American communities that are targeted. We're all marked. We're all targets. We're all on the same ship. It doesn't matter. They're just trying to divide in order to fucking rule over the masses. When was the last time that the elites didn't rule over the masses in some way or another? So, you know what, man? Just recognize that there's a bigger picture. Don't jump on the bandwagon when some shit goes down. Take the time to think about what's happening and doing some research. It's critical. There's a good book, if anybody wants to read about the crack cocaine controversy, called Dark Alliance. It was written by Gary Webb, who was an investigative reporter for the San Jose Mercury News, who committed suicide in 2001.
That's how it happens.
Straight up.
That's how it happens.
Tell the truth, get clipped sometimes.
Yeah.
But fuck it, man. I'm ready to die if any shit happens to me. You know what? I'm 41 years old. I'd rather be 80 years old than 20 right now, straight up. And it's just because times are so fucking ridiculous. But you know what, man? Fuck it. I've done everything anybody could ever imagine, you know, and it's been a fun ride.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Fuck it.
What's up?
Here's the bucket.
Let's hear some. What's some of the crazy shit you did when you was in Frisco, man? Like living out here, like beach parties, wild, crazy shit, or what?
I mean, yeah. Okay, so I used to work at a restaurant called Dick's/Resort.
Yeah.
And I was a waiter at Dick's/Resort in San Diego and San Antonio. And it was just a wild place. It's basically a restaurant where you can say whatever you want to say to people, and patrons come in to be verbally bantered.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I heard about some kind of restaurant like that.
And you just make them like funny hats that read like, one time I had these fucking straight fucking ex-cons. There's like 20 of them sitting in my section. And there was this fucking burly ass fucking white dude, skinhead looking motherfucker. And I made him a hat. You take a Sharpie and write on a white piece of paper and create this hat that read, "I miss prison sex."
Shit.
And I put it on his head, and everybody's like, "How did you know? How did you know?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
That's hilarious.
And then like girls would come in, and they would be like for a bachelorette party, and you know, I'd have like 50 chicks in my section, you know, I'd be like 22, just like serving them drinks, getting them liquored up, man. And I'd be like, you know, there was one night it was like 6 o'clock on a Friday night in San Diego, and dude, I'm sitting there, dude, I'm surrounded by chicks. No, I can't tell the story, dude. To make a long story short, man, it's basically, you know, just ludicrous fun, the ultimate place to wait tables if you're a waiter. That was a long time ago, though.
Alright. So the restaurant scene was dope as fuck.
It's the greatest place to ever work and be like a single bachelor dude. I mean, like, it was just like, you know, you just meet so many people, and they're all there to laugh. And like, one time this girl was leaving with her mom and auntie, and I was like, "You remind me of my pinky toe." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I'm going to jam you on my coffee table later."
Hell yeah.
It was just always some shit like that, dude.
Shit.
And the fucking patio would just be like full of people, would be like, "Oh my god." And then, dude, the mom was like, "You know what? That's inappropriate." I was like, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Dude, one time this old ass broad, dude, she's like in her mid-50s or whatever, she's wasted, she's wearing this B-cup, whatever, dude, just like wrinkly old fucking whatever. And she just grabs me right in my crotch. I was like, "Whoa, lady, come on, I'm not a fucking piece of meat." I was like, "Maybe if your cleavage didn't look like an abandoned leather fanny pack." I'm trying to fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Not fall fucking 3 stories down into that shit pond of a pussy.
Damn, she was with the shit. I know she had a good laugh about that.
She was fucked up, but everybody on the patio that was watching had a great time. Like the one time this old woman was in a wheelchair, and I like walked her wheel. The fucking just like was giving her a lap dance. Everyone would be like, it was just wild, man. Some dude one time these like hoity-toity married women came in, and there was like a line to get in, and they just snaked the table. They sat down. I was like, "You gotta fucking go through the thing to get a seat." And they're like, "Oh, come on, blah blah blah." They just thought they were the shit. One of them had this fat diamond ring. I was like, "Let me see that ring." I'm looking. I was like, "Holy shit!" When I'm looking at this, I can damn near envision the 12-year-old African child who died mining for it. And they were like, "Ooh," they just got offended, and they left. And, you know, so it was fun. Sometimes people would get offended, and that was always kind of fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes they didn't know what they were getting themselves into at that place, but it was like I would work there for the rest of my life if it paid more, you know. And I made.
What years was this?
I worked there when I was done with college in 2000, 2001, and then I worked at the one in San Diego in 2003, 2002, 2003, and then I worked at on the Riverwalk again in 2012.
That's dope as fuck.
Dude, the greatest job ever. But it's not in San Diego anymore. There's one in, there's one in San Antonio still. But yeah, comedy's been great, man. I miss stand-up comedy. I miss, being at the punchline and doing a set and killing and then fucking being out front smoking or whatever. And Dave Chappelle would just show up. You're like, holy shit, he does a set. It's like, it's a tight-knit community of people, like of the true people that were hustling to do stand-up, because it's a nightly hustle getting out there and doing it, man. Doing it every night, and I did it for, like 12, 13 years. Every single night I'd be hitting it, and kudos to those that are still hitting it, dude. Stroy Moyd is hitting it. He's more or less running the comedy scene, man, in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's a funny individual.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure you guys are out there following him already, but if you're not, go follow him. Brad, I'm telling you, hilarious. I look at that shit at least 2-3 times a week just to get some laughs out of him, you feel me?
Yeah, that guy's really funny. So he hasn't been making too many videos, man. I'd love to make another video in this day and age, but I don't know. He's really a stand-up guy. He does way more stand-up, and he's way more into production. He's got his hella funny production, and it's but stand-ups shows aren't open in the Bay Area right now. They're all kind of on hiatus, which is bullshit. So
I came and seen you one time. It was in downtown Oakland?
What was it, Copper Spoon maybe in Oakland?
I think it was Copper Spoon. Yeah, and I appreciate that because that was some good comedy that night.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun, man. I do miss stand up, but it's it's kind of on hiatus. We'll see if it comes back around and people can start laughing at themselves and enjoying themselves again, and not being so ready to fucking get pissed and be more eager to be happy.
Well, there still is a crowd of motherfuckers. We are definitely part of them people who will come and laugh. So just know that we're still out here, man.
Good shit.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
All right, so we're gonna have you give them your handles to where that they can get a hold of you at.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at DonnieMac10. That's where it's at. I got some crank calls on there. I do crank calls and I do skits, bits, whatever, and that's more or less what I've been doing. It's that's where I'm at. DonnieMac10.
Well, once again, we for sure appreciate you, not only for signing through, but for keeping the comedy alive, man. Like that's one thing I really look forward to a lot. Like I know maybe stand up might die down a little bit or whatever, but at least Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers need something to laugh at. Everyone who ain't got a fucking stick up their ass and need to, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
We need that shit. So
we do. We certainly do. So that's what's up. And there's funny comics out there, man. Bill Burr's funny. Chappelle's obviously a legend.
Sure.
Chris Rock hasn't done much stuff. I wish he was more around. That guy's great.
Dave Chappelle recently just did a new one.
Sticks and Stones.
I think it was called like 8 minutes and 8 minutes or something.
Yeah, 8:46.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was much more of like a thing directed towards what's going on with George Floyd.
Right. But he speaks a lot on real shit, you feel me? So that was expected from him, you feel me? Because he's the one that could do it.
For sure.
A lot of motherfuckers are gonna listen.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. Dave Chappelle's a legend. Yeah. And he's just such a humble, approachable guy, too.
Right.
He's the man. Dave Chappelle is the man. He's the GOAT.
Yes, sir. I think we could all agree on that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. This show was so funny.
Hell yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's been another episode to come up. We want to thank DonnieMac10 for all the support. You feel me?
My
you
pleasure.
got the baby lung shirt on. You feel me?
Baby
You already know
lungs.
what it is. And we're gonna, you feel me? We gotta give a shout out to our sponsors: Hood Out of Control Clothing, Honey Pot Extracts, and we working on Golden State Labs right now. We gotta sit down with the homie and talk to him. You feel me? But man, it is what it is, man. Thanks for tapping in. Yee.
Keep it real.